Welcome to Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dawg.
I'm joined alongside Michael Benatar, the father. He's back. Congratulations. Woo, woo, woo.
I'm here. I'm back. We did miss a show last week. I was 4 days of sleep deprivation. I couldn't possibly even think about doing a show.
Mike always said we were never missing a show, so you guys can tell how the first few days went over there.
It was rough. It was rough. It's great. He's here. He's healthy. I'm still tired. We're how many days is it now? It's like 12 days in. So it's good. It's exhausting, and no one tells you how tired you're going to be coming home from the hospital.
Everyone should tell you that who's been a parent, because likely they've gone through it. Mike's going to try to string together a few thoughts for us. I thought we could take it easy on you to start the show and do a little edition of Baby, Bullshit or Believe. Hit the sound.
Okay. Oh, wow. Gotta get the sounds. I don't even know where the sounds are. Hold on. Let me see.
He's going to find it. He's just a little slow. He hasn't been sleeping.
Bullshit or Believe. There it is. Bullshit or Believe time. Bullshit or Believe time. Bullshit or Believe.
All right. I know, Mike, you've been through a lot lately, so why start with sports? Let's start with what you've been covering. Bullshit or Believe. You are sleeping enough. Bullshit or Believe.
I would say Aaron thinks I'm sleeping enough.
That's not what you were just telling me.
Aaron thinks I'm sleeping enough.
Okay.
No, at first, no. It's getting better day by day, but no, I don't think I'm sleeping enough.
Okay,
No.
and we'll judge by this podcast how well your takes are if you're sleeping enough. Here's another one. Bullshit or Believe. You have started but unable to finish a diaper situation.
No. Those are you have to finish them all unless he cries.
Well, I thought maybe you had to like tag in your wife, like you couldn't finish an explosion.
Diapers seem pretty easy. Like I'm not breastfeeding or anything. Like all I got to do is diapers and like take care of them. Easy part.
Diapers easy. Writing that down. Okay. Here's one. Bullshit or Believe. You will be replaced on the Sports Hangover by your son in less than 15 years.
Yeah, that'd be great. He can take over. Your kid can take over too whenever you have one. You know, a few years apart.
In those kids.
Yeah. The Sports Hangover could just continue running on.
Yeah, that's a good one. My last one for you. Bullshit or Believe. Your wife is a hero for what she went through.
Yeah, she's a champ. I have great videos that I could show you guys. They're really funny.
Whoa.
She had, fun like videos in the room we were playing. Fun music in the delivery room. Yeah, she did it great. She no drugs, no nothing. She was a champ and pushed it out. I watched a baby come out of somebody, which was wild.
You were below the equator.
I was like by the head and like by Aaron's head looking and seeing it. I will say it's less like, I see all the TV shows. I feel like it was less bloody and gross than I thought it was going to be. Like seeing a human come out of a human is a crazy thing. It's insane. I couldn't believe it.
I can't imagine. I've never seen it myself. So
yeah.
I can only imagine,
It's
especially
crazy.
when it's your human too. Well, that's my last one on BS or Believe. Congratulations, Mike. We're happy for you.
Thanks.
We're happy for your wife. You're going to bring him on for some takes in the next 1 to 2 years and then train him to replace you in no time.
That'd be great. That'd be great. I do have some bullshit or believes if you want to get into it.
Yeah,
we can talk draft at the end of the show because I know draft is like last week's
we have to
news.
recap it.
I want to hear.
Too.
I want to hear your thoughts on that. But I do have a bullshit or believe on LeBron James because I know the season has come to an end for him. I'm watching a lot of basketball. I'm having a lot of time sitting holding a baby.
Maybe
so I'm
late
watching,
night even? Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, a lot of sports. I watched the Tom Brady Roast, which we can talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do have a bullshit or believe for LeBron. So I have three scenarios. And you tell me which one is more likely than the others because I think some of them are pretty good. So I'm going to start with the first one. Bullshit or believe, will LeBron go to Golden State, A, play with Curry and win a championship, or will Bronny also join him there and it'll be the trio in Golden State?
You just listed 3 players, and one of them is not like the other. Steph, LeBron, and Bronny. And Bronny is the one. It's not the two Jameses versus Curry. Bronny does not belong in that conversation. You threw me for a loop on that one. Okay, let's start with the Warriors' free agency, or the ability for him to go. So, yes, he's opting out of his contract. Yes, they fired their coach. Yes, we don't know where LeBron is playing next year. And by default, we don't know which city Bronny's playing in, even though he's not going to play in the NBA. Bullshit or believe, will LeBron go to Golden State to play with Steph Curry? Listen, I don't put it past LeBron. He looks for the easy way out. Anytime he wants to win a championship, he just goes with other superstars and tries to win. He did it in Miami. He did it with Anthony Davis in LA. And now he might do it with Steph in Golden State. I just don't actually see him going to the Warriors because the Warriors are one of the few teams where no matter if LeBron is there or not, it's still Steph's team. Anywhere else he could go and it could be LeBron's team. That is still Steph's team. I'm saying no to the Warriors.
Okay. The next bullshit or believe, does LeBron stay in LA as a Laker? I hear rumors JJ Redick might become the head coach. They also started a podcast together, which is really weird. So I'm saying JJ Redick is the head coach, and Bronny also plays there. Bronny's in every situation.
Why is Bronny in every scenario? What are you doing to me?
Bronny is playing with LeBron. If LeBron is bringing in imagine me hiring you as my coach for something after we've worked together doing a podcast forever. Guess who's going to be able to like run the show? I'm going to be like, J-Dawg, let me do this.
But, Mike, if I'm not good enough to work for you, you're going to send me to the minor league team in the city. You're still going to want to hang out. LeBron wants to hang out with Bronny. He wants to go out to dinner. They want to have breakfast. They want to live in the same place. He doesn't want Bronny being on the same court as him because it'll bring LeBron down.
Do you think it will bring... But I'm saying, like, JJ Redick will be there. It'll basically be LeBron coaching the team. JJ's just there to like assist, almost an assistant coach. LeBron is not coaching the team.
Is there a poison pill that ESPN main analysts take that make them go back to coaching? Jeff Van Gundy out, Doc Rivers put in the situation, hired by the Milwaukee Bucks. Now you're telling me JJ Redick, who's about to do his first NBA Finals, he could do 30 of them if he wants to. What a legacy job that could be. He's like 35 years old. He's our age. He could do it for the rest of his life. Yet you're telling me he's going to go coach the Lakers, which means he's not going to coach the Lakers. He's going to be the assistant coach to LeBron because we all know LeBron is the head coach of the team he's on.
It's true. All right, I got my last one. This one you're not going to like as much.
Okay.
Bullshit or believe, LeBron just retires at the end of the season. That's it.
Mike, I'll tell you this. It's more likely than him joining the Warriors, and it's just as likely as him playing with Bronny on the Lakers. So how about that? It's not inconceivable that he walks away. It was a very negative press conference he gave after they were eliminated by the Nuggets, which, by the way, they led at halftime of like every game. They were right in it until the Nuggets and Jokic just poured it on late in the second half of every game. They could have won. LeBron could have. Yeah. And it all goes back to what I said. If they had a better core on the Lakers, if they had more players around LeBron, if they had better infrastructure there, the Lakers could have won that series. They could go on a run in the West. Because he didn't have any of those things, I think he's closer to retirement than running it back with the Lakers. The J.J. Redick thing, again, it would just be like bringing in a friend to be a figurehead and coach LeBron's team when LeBron is calling every play.
But
I don't like that idea.
But look at like how close he is with Genie. Look at all these things. Like it's all lining up to be like, LeBron, stay here. You're our guy. You're gonna be. I think more likely J.J. Redick's coach. LeBron's there. Bronny's playing. Doesn't
JJ
care
Redick
about
has zero coaching experience. Is that where we're at in sports, where we're just hiring people off TV because they're well-spoken with zero experience?
Well, worked in Oakland, right? What's his? He got a full-time job. What's his name?
Didn't Steve Kerr coach previously, or was
no?
he
No,
only
I mean,
on TV?
sorry, the NFL. With not Oakland, Vegas.
Antonio Pierce?
Yeah, player to coach.
He was on TV a long time ago. I'm talking about TV without the coaching experience. It is more common. We're seeing it in football, baseball, basketball. More common. Josh McCown was almost hired to be an NFL head coach with no experience. We're seeing more and more of it fresh off the field. So I get the idea. I just think like there's enough NBA coaches out there to hire one for a proud franchise like the Lakers instead of handing it to an inexperienced J.J. Redick and LeBron just tells him exactly what to do. Do you think J.J. Redick will butt heads with LeBron and tell him and win a disagreement? No, 0% of the time. Is that a healthy thing in the NBA?
How great would it be post-game they go record a podcast together and talk about the game? Like, that's the kind of stuff. I started listening to the podcast.
For the content.
And they definitely get into, like, topics that are a little bit more, like, deeper of the game of basketball instead of just, like, who won, who lost, which was interesting. So, we'll see. I also have, randomly yesterday, I was on Reddit or somewhere. I have a whole bunch of, like, conspiracies about sports that I wanted to read. I don't know if this is... I've just been collecting stuff.
That sounds good. Can I just do one NBA note before we get to your conspiracies? We were talking about LeBron and the NBA. You've been watching some NBA playoffs. Have you watched any Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I have. I also love the conspiracy that he is Jordan's kid, and he looks exactly like him if you line up his face together.
What? Wait. This is a thing? Is this one of your conspiracies?
Wait, no. Have you not seen this?
No, I've seen comparisons to Michael Jordan. I never knew it was because he looked like him. I thought it was because he played like him.
It's definitely because it's his kid. That's why. Like, there's...
What do you mean? It's not his kid, though. It's Edwards.
It doesn't matter his last name. That's his kid. That's what we're going with. That's the conspiracy online right now, that this is Michael Jordan's long-lost son, and that's why he plays exactly the same. The dunks are the same. The way he dribbles the ball is the same. I've been watching him. He's great. I love it.
He's great.
He's a star.
Mike, in my notes, I have Anthony Edwards getting Michael Jordan comparisons because it says play. Like, I thought it was his jump shots, his fadeaways, the way he moves his feet, the way he drives. He dunks like Jordan. Like, he will jump from the free throw line with the one hand and just slam it home just like Michael Jordan. I thought it was like, oh, this guy's so cool. He's like a spark plug just like MJ. No. You're telling me it's his father?
It's his father. That's a conspiracy going around online. There's like something that pinpoints it back to where he was born, where Michael Jordan was, and maybe had a girlfriend at the time.
Okay, we're going to have to dig into this more because also Marcus Jordan, who I've talked about a lot on the show as being just as good or better than Bronny James.
Yeah.
Marcus Jordan never played in the NBA, especially nothing like Anthony Edwards. So it's not just father DNA.
I will say Marcus Jordan doesn't look anything like Jordan either.
Oh, so this is more Anthony Edwards is more Jordan's son than Marcus Jordan.
If you go online right now and type Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan's son, there are comparisons where they line up the face at the same age. Identical. The mustache, the eyes, the head, everything.
I didn't know, but I'm here for it. And my note is the Timberwolves are legit. They beat the Nuggets in Game 1. Anthony Edwards is amazing. I told you a few weeks ago as we were ranking the most exciting players in the West. He was up there. He's up there in the top 3. He's up there to number 1 right now. He's more exciting than Jokic. I think they're going to beat the Nuggets. I think they're going to the NBA Finals. Everything I said about the Nuggets is wrong because Michael Jordan Jr. exists for the Timberwolves.
Right. That's right.
I'm going on a deep dive. I'm going to change all my TikTok algorithms, so this is the only content I see going forward.
I will say, like, Jokic, it feels like he never wants to be there and play. Like, he was running to the back of the stadium to watch the horses race or his horse race in the Derby the other night.
I didn't see that. It was a great Derby, by the way.
He does not care about basketball. And you can kind of see it in his attitude when he plays. Anthony Edwards, superstar, love his attitude, love his personality, love that he plays like Michael Jordan and might be Michael Jordan's son. Everything about it I love.
It's so funny. I thought he played like Michael Jordan and never once considered that he was Michael Jordan's kid, but this is all news to me.
How old is he? How old is Anthony Edwards? He's got to be like, what, 23?
I think he's like 23, which was Michael Jordan's number his whole career. That's why it's his time.
He's 22 years old.
What a spark plug. He's going to win an NBA championship when he's 23, Michael Jordan's number. And Karl Anthony Towns used to be the spark plug on the Timberwolves. No one talks about him anymore. He's like the secondary big man. It's all about Anthony Edwards now. God,
I got to show you the pictures. All right. I have so much stuff. I've just been collecting tons of stuff.
Yeah,
let's get into regular stuff, and then we can go to conspiracies because they're just like one-off conspiracies. Okay. Do you want to do draft? Do you want to talk
Brady Roast? How about a little recap?
Let's talk Brady Roast.
You watched the Brady Roast last night, which, by the way, let's just set this up. It's here in LA at the Kia Forum. Mike, you know event night was a big deal recently where I chose to bring some friends to an event night for a gift. Did you know
a wedding gift
for a wedding gift, which is a great wedding gift, validated by the bride and groom, off registry, absolutely, for an experience. We're big on that. Did you know on my list of 5 ideas for event night for this wedding couple, one of them was the Tom Brady Roast. It was actually an option for their event night, and they chose to go to the Lakers Nuggets game, which was great. But I would say this one actually got more buzz. Like, everyone's buzzing about this roast today. It was very funny. I saw all the clips, but you watched it live.
I loved it. I thought it was very raunchy. Felt like real comedy was back. Calling people hard R's and all this stuff on stage.
Is that why you like that?
I thought it was like a breath of fresh air and people calling out people. Dana White calling out trans people and Democrats and all this stuff. And everybody making fun of Netflix for being so like trans forward or something, and making fun. It's like, oh, we have it was just so funny to me. I loved it all, and it felt like everybody was having a good time, and that's the point of comedy. It's supposed to make fun of everybody. I don't know why Tom Brady signed up for it. That does not make any sense to me at all. It's just like purely ripping into him. Funny Robert Kraft jokes. Just it was great, and everybody was like, okay. Like when you saw the sports guys come up, like some of the former teammates, you're like, it's not gonna be great, but obviously they had writers and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. But Yeah, it was fun, and it was live. That was the great part about it. I do recommend We Live in LA. Watch John Mulaney, Everybody Lives in LA, the first episode. I think the B-roll of LA felt the most LA I've ever seen of any, like when you depict LA, you know, in some movies and stuff, this felt so LA to me. He was showing just like the most LA things only LA people would understand. Yeah, it was great. It was so good.
I will check that out. I feel that way about New York and How To with John Wilson. It like shows the streets of New York so well. So maybe this will be the LA equivalent. I thought the roast was great. Also, I also don't know why Tom Brady did it. I was thinking about that, and maybe like for him to have like thicker skin when he gets to Fox, he like wanted to go through the roast now, and like can't be more criticism than that because there was some tough criticisms there. There was a few that were like hilarious just in clip form. I wanted to share. One is Julian Edelman was talking about big dicks in the locker room. And he made a joke about Aaron Hernandez being hung. Like, that was crazy. And, like, I just said that on our podcast, and I'm cringing a little bit as I say it. There was a joke about Robert Kraft, of course, Patriots owner, with the massage. And that was the one time Brady got up. Was it Jeff Ross's ear? And he, like, said something to Jeff Ross, like the head roast master.
I want to say that was a part of the bit. I don't think that was, like, him actually doing it. Because they were saying much cringier stuff than, like, Robert Kraft getting jerked off at a massage parlor. Like, that was not... Yeah, but
Kraft was there, and, like, Kraft paid Brady, like, hundreds of millions of dollars over the years. I feel like Brady was, like, protecting him a little bit. That was a good one. A lot of jokes about Brady's divorce. He seemed to be taking those not well, taking a big swig of alcohol every time. People brought that up.
Banging his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually won 8 rings. He got his ring from Giselle back. So a lot of great jokes on that. Gronk was called stupid throughout. That was funny, too, as during Gronk's
I loved
little
it.
spiel.
Go watch it. And all the jokes, it's just like such a great time. It feels like comedy's back and people were just enjoying it. Like, it felt like something people wanted to tune in for, and I don't think you get that a lot anymore. And it felt good. There were so many people there, so many celebrities, all the comics, everybody you know. I did feel bad for like Tom and Bert. They felt like very pushed off to the side, and no one was making fun of them for some reason. I don't know why, but they just kind of felt
Tom and Bert,
like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. They were just at the end.
They did a little thing at the screen I saw.
Yeah, didn't love that. It felt kind of forced, but yeah.
They were pushed off a little bit. Jeff Ross, the real roast master, the ugliest human I've ever seen in person. But he is funny at those roasts.
Yeah, the hair really helped him. When he had hair, he was a little bit better looking.
At least I didn't look like that when I was bald.
All right, what do you want to do? I got some... I don't even know where the category is this. The F1 was over the weekend, and we've been to a lot of events lately. We've been paying crazy prices for a lot of food. But did you see the F1 prices come out?
I did. Hundreds of dollars for regular
crazy.
food.
So I have the menu right here. Maine lobster rolls, $280. Yellowfin tuna poke, $170. Fruit refresher, pineapple, watermelon, stone fruit, kiwi, and coconut, $190.
That's disturbing. How are they charging that? This is such an elite event where if you don't have tons of disposable income, you can't go. Because even if you get a ticket, you can't eat or drink on those prices.
First of all, I feel like people that go don't really like F1. It was just like, hey, we're in Miami. Yeah. We're going to go do this.
Celebrities, that kind of thing.
I don't know anybody that loves F1 that much and wants to go watch cars. Well, like you saw NASCAR.
If you love a race, I don't think you go to the race because you don't see the race very well. I think that's true of most races.
Yeah. It's like most sporting events these days. Like, why go to the game when you can be at home with like 5 screens and different broadcasts on? It doesn't make sense.
Although I was at Dodger Stadium with great seats behind home plate the other night, and that's a great place to be. If you have good seats at a sporting event, so this will become bougie, it's worth it to go and pay the price. If you don't have good seats, don't go.
Did you guys get to go? You were sitting behind home plate, right behind
home plate, just one section up, but right behind home plate, below the press box. Okay. Really nice angles for the Braves home runs. Ohtani didn't play well in the game I was at. Then he hit a bunch of home runs over the weekend, so he's playing well again.
It seemed like the other night I saw 11-2 score against your Braves.
Thankfully, that was not the game we went to. That was Saturday.
Good.
Friday was extra innings, Mike. You would have been there late into the night.
I don't like that.
No, he doesn't like
that. All right. Let's.
Wait a second. Did you tease conspiracies and not share them with us? Can we get?
I got some conspiracies. Hold on. I don't know if they're great, but I did screenshot them.
Okay, then we'll
Here's
do
some conspiracies. Brady. Hold on. Brady. What did he do?
This is Mike's late night baby feeding conspiracies he's found on the internet.
On Reddit, Brady faked an ACL tear in 2008 to serve a secret suspension for betting on games.
Well, that didn't come up last night in the roast. No. Would have been nice. It would have been nice if it did. There was something he said about how he wished he got paid $20 million for Deflategate instead of investigating it. So if he's joking about that, I feel like he should just break the silence on this too.
Okay, all right. I
don't look at him as a sports bettor though, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it seems like 08 wasn't as easy to gamble in sports, so I don't think it was happening as well. Yeah. This next one, Andrew Luck's shoulder injury and calf injury that made him retire were both snowboarding injuries. He said after the shoulder injury that he wasn't going to snowboard anymore, but he did and got injured again. Instead of admitting it that he fucked up again, he just decided to retire.
I don't believe that. I think he went to Stanford. He was always very smart. I don't think he would have been hurt snowboarding in a significant way. And I think he walked away because he was worried about his brain getting hit, which a lot of smart people are worried about.
Listen, these are just deep thread conspiracies, okay? These are not. Keep going. The next one, refs don't actually watch the replays on challenges in the NFL. They just pretend to pay attention while somebody from the office in the NFL headquarters tells them to make whatever call would make the game more interesting.
I don't know. That very last line, like, what if they just tell them what call to make, but they're still, like, looking at something else on the screen? Like, I might be here for that. I don't think the NFL is telling them to make the interesting call, but maybe in certain playoff moments.
Booger McFarlane isn't actually real. He's an early prototype of an AI. That's why that's why he doesn't actually know all this really simple shit like Minneapolis Miracle and why Tessa Story is always shouting. Or I don't know. That was kind of a stretch.
This is really giving us a glimpse into your life lately. Your sports conspiracies.
That's what's been going on.
Booger's AI, he's a first model. They have some work to do to perfect that one, I guess.
I can see him as a first AI prototype. I do have like some other news too. Just one other thing. If you got, what else you got? Because I know you have a full. I was going
to do some NFL draft recap. What do you want to do first?
Do the NFL draft.
Okay, 6 quarterbacks got taken in the first round. I'm taking you back a little bit. I don't think you had your baby yet when the draft hit. You got to watch the draft.
I was watching. Oh, no. We had the baby.
Oh, that was the day he was born, or so. Right?
The next day was when the draft was. I watched the draft. I would also say, not exciting. No trades. Nothing exciting happened.
Well, the Patriots almost traded out of the 3rd pick. They didn't, but then the Vikings traded up and got J.J. McCarthy. The Falcons took Michael Penix out of nowhere. Yes. That was weird. Why'd you sign Kirk Cousins and draft Michael Penix? Like, it's okay to love Michael Penix, but you shouldn't have signed Kirk Cousins only 6 weeks ago if you're going to make that move. The Vikings moved up for J.J. McCarthy. There was a lot of quarterback moves. There was a lot going on, so I disagree.
It wasn't as exciting. I thought there was going to be who's trying to get the 2nd round, who's getting the 3rd pick, I thought more people were going to trade out of their positions, but they didn't.
Let's do this. A quick bullshit or believe on the 6 quarterbacks taken in the 1st round. Very quick here. Caleb Williams, Bears. Bullshit or believe?
Bullshit or believe what? Good, bad?
Yeah, success. Will he do?
I'm going to say bullshit. I don't think he's going to have success. I think he's a fake, a fraud. I do like that he made the bear claw a thing. That's the only thing I like from him right now. I like it.
It's also very Gen Z of him, right?
Yeah. Very.
They did draft that receiver I told you, Jerome Odunze, later in the 1st round. That's going to help him be a believe. We believe in Caleb. 2nd overall, Jalen Daniels, the crazy elbow, Washington Commanders. Bullshit or believe?
Now, he was injured, right? Like, this guy was injured a few times.
Yeah, but not right now, previously.
Sure, not right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say bullshit on him. I think Washington might have reached for. I feel like there was other guys that might have been better. So
I don't know if there was better quarterbacks unless his name is Michael Penix, because I like Michael Penix the 2nd best in this class, I decided. And they should have taken him 2nd. I agree with you. Bullshit on Daniels. Number 3, I'm going to get this one started. Drake May to the Patriots is bullshit. What I loved, Mike, is Bill Belichick on the Pat McAfee broadcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had tape prepared for all the guys, so it's like it doesn't matter where he's being drafted. It's just tape he prepared. The Patriots draft him, and they go right to Belichick, and he starts criticizing the shit out of his footwork, his throwing motion, his accuracy needs to sit for a while, and it turns out Belichick is criticizing the Patriots' first-round pick without Belichick in like 20-some years. And so I love that, and I agree with him. Drake May was a bad pick. They reached for him.
Do you think it's hard to... Because I remember hearing that. I forgot what he said, but it did sound very like, okay, he didn't play a lot. He's a gunslinger. He tries to throw it a little too much into pockets that he shouldn't be throwing to. But I feel like those are all things you can train out of somebody, but I don't know... Like, there's not a perfect guy out there, right? Like, you almost want to draft the guy in the third round where you're like, well, he doesn't have a lot, but we can build him up and get more. He has a good fundamental. Like these guys in the high rounds, you're looking for a flaw. But I don't know. Like, well, one of these top 6 quarterbacks that got drafted, I think only one will survive this draft.
Just one. That's odds would say it's like 2.3 survive. So you're even lower than the average, which the average is pretty low too. Speaking of Michael Penix, like I said, I love him as a prospect. I don't love the Falcons giving Kirk Cousins $170 million then doing this. This is a terrible thing.
100 guaranteed. I don't understand that at all. Everybody was blowing up about it. It seemed confusing, and then they tried to like the GM and what's his name,
the owner, right? We saw the video of the GM like trying to explain it to the owner, like here's what happened, like here's how it fell with the hand movements. How is he still employed today? I don't know. I
mean, the way they spun it was like, well, we want to start a dynasty, so once Kirk is over, we're going to move on to the Penix, and he's going to be like kind of like the Jordan Love situation, which maybe draft a guy a little lower than. But like not lower, but like in the different rounds. Than
and it sucks for Penix too. He's already old. I think he's like 24, which is old
he's been
for
there
coming
for a while.
out. And now he's going to sit for at least 2 years. You're like 27 when you start your career. Like I was so accomplished at 27. This poor guy doesn't have anything going for him at 27. All right, here's another one. J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings traded up for him. I'm saying believe because I believe in O'Connell, the head coach. I believe in Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson, the targets. It's a good infrastructure. That matters. So if only 2 work, it's going to be Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy. How about that?
Do you think that Harbaugh was pumping him up a little too much, and that's why he was drafted where he was drafted?
Yeah, he rose a lot in the draft process, probably because of Harbaugh.
I feel like that might have been a little scary. Like I think Harbaugh was like doing him like a favor, like, "Hey, we might draft you at 3 or 4, wherever we're at." I don't know. I'm not. These guys in the later rounds, like Denver got the
Bo Nix, who I told you exclusively on the Sports Hangover that week. I told you Sean Payton likes short quarterbacks, and he took Bo Nix. We had that whole discussion, and that one worked out.
I feel like
we'll
he might
say
be
bullshit on that one, right?
I feel like it might be a good one because it's not. You're going to have a quarterback competition, right? They got a whole bunch of losers over there, right? They have Zach Wilson.
It's a room of losers. That doesn't like when you're the smartest kid on that bus. It's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing, but I think it's like at least it's guys that were like, okay, we think you're all here at this like level. You're starting all at 1. If somebody rises to like a 6 or a 7, you're like, damn, I did a really good job. I do think Zach Wilson might have the edge on everybody because he's already played.
I was going to say, you're comparing Bo Nix to Zach Wilson at a starting point, and that like sucks for both of them. I don't know who it sucks for more, but it sucks. It sucks for both. Infrastructure matters, Mike, and the Vikings have a good offensive head coach, a good receiver base, a good defense. They're going to compete in that division. The Broncos, maybe you believe in Sean Payton. A lot of people don't for the way he mismanaged Russell Wilson. They don't have good receivers. They don't have a good defense. They're not going to compete in that division. There's probably like a 0% chance Bo Nix works out there.
Well, next week, I do want to go over some bets. I want to talk about some futures. I want to bet some futures. I already bet futures on Denver.
On the Falcons.
And on the Falcons. I have futures over.
I don't know how that works out now.
Over 5 wins for Denver. That's how confident I am in that terrible quarterback room.
I don't know about that. That's a small number, and I'm still not sure about it.
5 wins. That's all they need.
You think. Is he over under 4.5 or 5?
I think it was like 5.5, so they have to win 6 games, I think.
I feel like it's like 4.5 now.
Wow. Okay. Well, I should check it.
We'll see about that.
I do have stats on the draft. There was 12.1 million viewers, and that's more than all 2023 World Series games, all 2023 Stanley Cup final games, 4 out of 5 2023 NBA final games, and every college football regular season except for 1.
The NFL stays king. No surprise there. What did shock me, Mike, was this draft was in Detroit. Did you see there was 275,000 spectators there across the 3 days?
I don't know. Is it just like, let's go get drunk? Because there's nothing going on. There's no entertainment.
It's a stage where the commissioner...
I thought you were having a seizure, Jamie. You're like...
No, I don't get it. I'm trying to figure this out. The commissioner comes out on the stage every 10 minutes and says 3 words into the microphone and disappears. And that's what these people are watching. 275,000 of them across 3 days. Almost 100,000 a day. Again, Mike, what are they doing? I was wondering, are they paid actors by the NFL? The NFL can clearly afford to send it out there because they were really hyping it up. Every night, Goodell would say, there's 100,000 here. We're trying to set the record. Come on out tomorrow night. Are they all actors in Detroit, are they NPCs? Do they have no brains inside of their bodies, and they're just walking this earth, and the earth sent them a signal to go to the draft on this day? They're not real humans. Are they the Midwest? And this is going to get me in hot water probably, but there's not a lot going on in the Midwest. Maybe that many people went because there's nothing to do on the weekend around Detroit, and that was the thing to do. We're here in LA, there's 17,000 things to do before you go to an NFL draft in person. I couldn't figure it out. I was racking my brain. Who the hell were all those people?
I mean, if you think about it, if I don't know, 20,000 from each fan group come out there, and I don't even know how that works.
I never want to go to a draft. If I ever mention anything about a draft, punch me in the face, because I don't want to go. I'd rather go to so many other things. I'd rather go to 0 other things. I'd rather stay home than go to that draft, which I just don't understand it. I got in an argument at work with someone. I had to add it to the rundown because it really bothers me that many people went.
Wait, did that person at your work want to go?
He's like, yeah, I'd be open to going. Why? They announce picks you watch on TV? He's like, yeah, because it's a boring event and something happens every 15 minutes and you don't need the 14 minutes in between. Anything else you buy a ticket for, a sporting event, a concert, there's an action. It's continuing. There's no breaks. There's action. And for this to go in person, please, it's in Green Bay next year. Just don't go.
Don't go.
Whatever you do, don't go.
What do you think about Roger Goodell? He's considering 18 regular seasons, dropping a preseason game. President's Day weekend Super Bowl. You've been calling for this for years.
We love that. We need
increased international games. I don't know about the increased international games. Don't love the international vibe. It's kind of hard for us to watch over here on the West Coast.
We don't love it, but we're not going to be able to stop the NFL from doing it. It's a cash cow. They keep expanding. It's only going to help them make more money, and it gives them new TV slots. We're seeing it this year. The Friday Brazil game is a random Friday in September, right after the Thursday season opener. Boom, they found a new window. Boom, they could sell it. Boom, make a bunch of money. And so it's going to continue. I don't love that part. I love the longer schedule, lose a preseason game. And then also President's Day, the Super Bowl on that Sunday, Monday off. I can't tell you how many hangovers on Super Bowl Monday I've had because you got to go into work on that Monday. And Mike, we're called the Sports Hangover. Part of the reason we're called that is because we don't want hangovers from our sports. We just want to separate the two. And if I can have a day off to lay in bed a little longer and then come on here and record a post-Super Bowl show with you instead of worrying about work, that is the best day I could imagine.
It would be good. I'm excited. So this is obviously not happening this season, possibly next season. But they're really expanding. TV rights are coming up. You sent me the other day, Roku's getting some MLB games, which I thought was an interesting move.
Bullish on Roku.
You love some Roku.
I'm the only
what are they doing with it? Because I didn't read the whole article. I read the headline. I'm like, okay, interesting move. But you have to have a Roku to watch it. Seems tough to get more people to watch MLB when you're locked away on this app. Oh, and this platform.
On a platform. MLB has a lot of problems getting people to watch games. Their regional networks, Bally's, are not carried by any major cable companies or YouTube TV at this point. We live here in LA. You tried to watch that Dodgers game that I was at on Friday night. They play 100 feet from your house. You could almost hear the crowd.
I can see the fireworks.
And you couldn't get it on your TV. You saw the fireworks, exactly. You heard them for sure. Because MLB blacks it out in your area because it's not available on YouTube TV at all. You'd have to pay $30 a month for the Spectrum app for you as a YouTube TV subscriber to watch Dodger games. It's crazy. MLB has this problem in cities all over the U.S. If you're in Atlanta, Comcast is the #1 cable company in Atlanta. Most people have it. Bally's is not available on Comcast. So even if you have cable, you still can't watch a Braves game or the team in your city. MLB is the worst at this. They make the worst deals. They're very platform disruptive, where they have Friday night games on Apple TV, and now they're going to have Sunday on Roku, and they're all over the place, and they don't make it easy. And so hopefully leagues like the NFL and the NBA are learning from this, and they're making it easier for people. If it's hockey NBA, it's either on ESPN or TNT TBS, and so it makes it easy in that way. And so hopefully it gets easier, not more difficult.
I do like it on the Max app. For some reason, I enjoy watching the games inside the Max app because I can't switch sometimes if it's just a hockey game or a basketball game.
Yeah.
But YouTube TV is doing a great job with the quad boxes, the dual boxes. Where I'm watching, yesterday I was just watching hockey and basketball. Most of the time, wouldn't even have basketball on, but it's great that both things are on at the same time. Little break over here, jump over there. I love it.
Isn't it funny how our best technological advancements are really from like earlier versions?
Yeah.
Like picture-in-picture was a thing on TV. Like, remember those big box TVs?
Yeah.
Picture-in-picture was a thing.
Yeah.
And now it's like that's all we're asking for from streamers,
Yeah,
and most
simple.
of them can't give it to us.
What do you? I mean, we don't have to talk about it now, but I know the NBA rights are up. It looks like TNT, their show might be gone. Shaq and all those guys might disappear if they don't renew it. Seems like a lot of players are in it for the NBA rights. Any idea where it's all going?
The only thing I'm willing to say, Mike, is that there's been a lot of talk about Inside the NBA on TNT, and if TNT doesn't retain the rights, where might that show go? Do you move all 4 of them to Amazon or someone else? Do you try to move Charles Barkley because he's the only one that matters? It will be very interesting.
Oh, wow, only Charles Barkley.
No, I'm asking questions.
Oh, okay.
Like, who makes that show go? Is that show the same if you just have Barkley with 3 other stooges, or do you need all 4 of them to make it work? I think that's a question that we're going to explore if TNT loses the rights.
I think if TNT doesn't get the rights, or Max or Warner Media, Discovery, whatever they're called, if they don't get the rights, I think those 4 guys will be the highest paid foursome in all of sports, because they could just have a show. And I think I listened to Bill Simmons or somebody. They're like, it could just be a satellite show somewhere just before a few games every week, and they could just be doing it just for anybody out there, kind of like.
Will people still seek it out if it's on like randomly on Netflix? And like, there's no games on Netflix, but these guys talk about the game before and after every game. It's like hard from like a scheduling thing, and like, do you have enough awareness to like go into an app to watch it? You
would have to be broadcast onto the network that you're on. So if ABC has it or NBC has it, it'd almost have to be like, these guys are the host of basketball on certain nights, and they're going to be on cross-platform channels. Because I think right now, does it even matter? To me, brands are almost disappearing on TV. It's like, just give me the program, and I'll watch it. I watched a lot of movies the last few days. I didn't care where it was located. As long as I had the app, it started playing. I watched all The Godfathers. I just started watching Scarface. I don't know if you've ever watched The Godfather, but
Your
I've been going
son is going to be quoting these movies. His first words will be quoting some of these crazy movies. That's awesome.
But The Godfather's great. Go watch Godfather 1 and 2. It's a 7-hour Godfather preview there.
That's a big ask. If you watch that, it means you already watched the show. I'm getting choked up about it, Mike. Fallout on Prime. Did you watch it?
Of course I watched it. It was great.
It was so good, was it not?
It was great. I played the game. I knew it very well. I loved it. A lot of like little callbacks to the video game. I like that it took place after any video games have ever been made, so it's its own story. They didn't have to rely on like going back to stories that were inside the game, but they can use the lore of the game. Great. I all around executed it well.
Incredible show. I'm on the flip side. I never heard of this video game.
Whoa.
You know, I'm not a gamer growing up. I still loved it. I think it's better than Last of Us, which is our best video game adaptation to date. Now I think Fallout is better. Mike, episode 1, no spoilers, but it does start with nukes dropping in LA. That's not a spoiler. It's just how episode 1 starts. Yep. That's going to get my interest every time. But from there, so many things happen in episode 1. I can't list them all as a spoiler alert. But I think it's the best episode 1. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
In television history. I cannot find a better episode 1 with more twists and turns, with better acting, with better like gasp moments, with better like, you know, the shock I'm talking about with like in the thing and then the outside, and there's characters popping up.
I guess it's if you've played the video game, you weren't as like, oh my god, you weren't shocked
That's
as
probably
much.
True.
Because you knew what ghouls were, and you knew what these things were, and you understood what was going on.
What was going on in the vault, what you thought was going on was not what was going on, all that.
Yeah, but it's great. You should play the game, play Fallout. Play Fallout 4, not Fallout 76. 76, all online. It's miserable, not as fun. Fallout 4, a lot of fun. You can have some cheat codes on there, too. Get the armor. A lot of fun. Go play it.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I got. I'm getting tired. I got to get some food. Good show. Go to the Sports Hangover.
Welcome back. We're so glad you're back. And you only missed one show, which a lot of fathers would miss more. So we appreciate your dedication to your one true baby, which is this podcast.
Of course. Yes. All right. Good job. See ya.